Hey, I'm Tony Moreland, and this is POW, Podcast of Wisdom from the Samsung Developer Program, where we talk about the latest tech, new trends, and give insight into all of the opportunities available for developers looking to create for Samsung. On today's show, I interview Charlotte Allen and Hyunah Kwon. Charlotte is the driving force behind Samsung's annual Best of Galaxy Store Awards, and Hyunah is the Director of Products for the Galaxy Store. Not only do we talk about the history of the awards, past highlights of previous awards, but we chat about exciting new changes to the Galaxy Store and our upcoming awards show, where we will celebrate the amazing apps that will win awards during the 2020 Best of Galaxy Store Awards show. And what better way to celebrate our season finale of the POW podcast? Enjoy. Hey, Charlotte, nice to have you back on the podcast.
I know, it's been a while.
So for those that don't remember or might have missed the episode, Charlotte actually interviewed me at the beginning of the season so that our listeners could learn a little bit more about me, find out who their host was. And a lot has happened since then. I think we've actually recorded about 12 episodes, but it has all been during this pandemic that we've been going through. So it's been a crazy year, needless to say, but the Galaxy Store has been going strong. This is the last episode, the season finale, and what better way than to discuss the Best of Galaxy Store Awards for 2020. So I would love to talk a little bit about the history of the awards. Charlotte has been working on this awards program since its inception. Can you explain to the audience what are the Best of Galaxy Store Awards?
Yeah, absolutely. The Best of Galaxy Store Awards were created to recognize apps that have stood out amongst the crowd in the U.S. Galaxy Store. We look for excellence in innovation, design, creativity, quality, and performance.
So I've been with Samsung for several years now, and I know that we've been doing this award show during that time, but when did the awards first start?
The program was launched in 2018 as a pilot, recognizing just 5 Galaxy Store publishers. Our goal in creating the program was to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of designers, developers to Samsung's ecosystem.
This will be the third year then?
Right. We are now in our third year. As you said, we increased the awards to 5 categories and over 20 winners. So we've come a long way in 3 short years, and we expect to continue to grow the Best of Galaxy Store Awards program in the future.
So where were those previous award shows held?
The inaugural Best of Galaxy Store Awards ceremony in 2018 was held at the Samsung Developer Conference at the Moscone Center in San Francisco. Last year's award ceremony was held at SDC 2019 at the San Jose Convention Center, and we recognized 25 developers and designers from around the world, and 21 of those winners were in attendance, which was great to see, and it showed us how important this recognition is from Samsung.
Yeah, I was actually the host of the award show last year in San Jose, and that was my highlight, was actually meeting these developers for the first time. We've been communicating with them, throughout the year, but to actually meet them face to face and to see how rewarding it was for them to receive this award, that was definitely an amazing moment.
Yeah, I agree. It was also, I think, rewarding and inspiring for us to see, their excitement and just how much effort they put into getting their award.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about some of these past recipients. Where's the best way for people to learn, who won in 2018, who won in 2019?
So we have a great list of winners now, having done this for 2 years and going into our third. So a list with our past winners can be found on Samsung's Developer Program site on the Best of Galaxy Store landing page. And it features over 30 Best of Galaxy Store award winners.
And that is developer.samsung.com. And if you go there, you can navigate over to the Galaxy Award page. Correct?
Yes, you can.
So having done this now for several years, I'm sure you've got a highlight. Tell me, do you have a special story about maybe a past winner?
Yeah, there are several that come to mind, but one that I'll share is we awarded Virgin for Best New Watch Face Designer. And his award was picked up by the Uruguay Embassy, who tweeted a congratulations to Virgin. And I thought that was really amazing.
That is. And Virgin is honestly an amazing designer, tons of success. He was the designer when I was first looking into starting myself selling watch faces. I was seeing his work and I thought, my gosh, this guy is putting out, insanely creative watch faces. And my goal was to try and, do something at his level. I mean, he just amazing detail, amazing depth, amazing features. So when I was starting out, he was the one that I looked up to, trying to emulate, his success. So great to see that he was awarded that year.
Wow. Pretty amazing.
So who qualifies for, potentially winning a Best of Galaxy Store award?
All Galaxy Store publishers qualify. From bigger, well-known brands to indie developers, designers, they all qualify.
That's great. I love to see how open Samsung is, that, it's not just a developer that is a big brand name, but, we'd like to recognize even the small person, the indie developer who is,
absolutely,
maybe doesn't have all of that experience, but is still putting out great content. So I thought it would be exciting if we actually brought somebody from the Galaxy Store team onto our podcast today. So I would like to welcome Hyunah Kwon.
Hi, Hyunah.
Hi, Tony. Hi, Charlotte. Thanks for inviting me.
So you are Director of Product, Galaxy Store and Games. Can you tell me, how long have you been in that role?
I've been in this role since this year to work for Galaxy Store and Games. I've been in Samsung for about 13 years, starting with my experiences in mobile devices and different product management in this domain of mobile. And we're very excited to expand to service businesses in Samsung. And I'm in charge of Galaxy Store app as well as gaming ecosystem in Samsung.
I had no idea you actually had been at Samsung for that long. Can you tell us what is new with the Galaxy Store?
Yes, this year has been full of exciting news and updates and changes with the Galaxy Store. We just launched a new version introducing an enhanced game discovery experience. As you know, Samsung has been fully committed to offer an excellent mobile gaming experience with our hardware. It could be like the stunning screen experiences, long battery, and very powerful performance in mobile gaming. And now Galaxy gamers can actually visit the Galaxy Store to discover new games. And they can view the stunning videos to learn more about the new games. They can pre-register for the upcoming seasons of their favorite games and so forth. For that, we can also share more details. And we also had an interesting year for all types of apps and content. We've been seeing a growing consumption of digital contents in the context of pandemic, as you know. So on the other hand, some people say that they're having a digital fatigue, if you will, caused by these exceptional circumstances. So we worked on simplifying this experience and make the downloading experience really quick and easy for our consumers, helping users to find the content they need with the better fit recommendations, as well as our editors' recommendations for them as well. And we also refreshed our design with a clean and harmonious look. For example, now you will see very reduced banner sizes here and there to ensure a pleasant browsing experience and downloading. And the best part is the exclusive benefits that our consumers love about Galaxy Store. So we offer new promotions events almost every week. For example, in the US market, remember we integrated Samsung Rewards last year so the users could spend their points against their purchase in our store. Earlier this year, since July, we launched an always-on points earning program. So now users can earn 3 points for every dollar spent, whether you purchase an app or a theme or in-app items in your game app. So the more they enjoy Galaxy Store and the more they can get rewarded.
Now, that is specifically for US customers, correct?
Yes. So many other countries could have some different programs, but this is in the US.
That sounds amazing. So I thought it was interesting. You said that because of the pandemic, because of COVID, that you've actually seen an increase in people using their apps and they're starting to get the fatigue with it. That's correct?
Yes. So the pandemic has been overwhelming for everyone, for sure. But it also was a great opportunity for some and many app developers. So we could see gaming industry, for example, has been really booming utilizing this opportunity. And media, such as watching videos or checking on news, and healthcare app that user can, actually spend a lot more time at home. So things like healthcare app, home improvement apps have been pretty popular too. And overall, we had really great and busy year, collaborating with our developers this year to help them really growing.
Yeah, that's great to see that, even though this is, an unfortunate thing that our world's going through with the pandemic, that you found ways to help people out more, considering that they are having to use their devices and access this information. So you had mentioned also that you're involved with the gaming aspect of it. Can you tell me, are there any new features for gamers?
Yes. So we have Simplifier app in two parts. So one is the gaming. Another part is the apps and all the collection of the contents that we provide for Galaxy users. So in that game tab, you will see an immersive game discovery area. So if you think about gaming in general has been developing, you now see games that are very spectacular. They have a story in it. You can interact multiple players all together. You can create a history, or you can, be really in a deeper side of your action. All of that is pretty similar in movie industry if you think about it. So when you watch a movie, you generally check a minute of trailer just to make sure you are watching a good movie. It's the same for games. We're providing our gamers the ability to discover what this game is about and how they would play if they download this game. Another part is our game introduction page, what we call the detail page of the app, has been recolored, refreshed so that they can actually see some very valid information about the games. We are providing a tag information. It can be something like, this game is about a multiplayer game. It's a strategy RPG, or if it's casual gaming, or if this game is featuring a medieval setting. It's all kinds of information like that. We are including more than 300 tag informations so that you can really see what this game is characterized for. Also, some real-time stats-based information, like you can see, this game is somewhat very popular. There's 10,000 users downloading this game at the moment right now, or it can be, 300 people are actually playing this particular game. And I think it's very important to highlight the personalized information is very key for our success. As we mentioned earlier, this is very important for any user to enjoy their experience, not spending too much time making their efforts. There's this fatigue about finding the right apps for me, etc. So we also use a lot of user database recommendation so that they can find the relevant game for them. And lastly, our Galaxy Store has been very appreciated by our speed to download and installation. So our consumers really love about our quick download feature. We actually feature this little button that you can directly install and download from what you are previewing from. You don't need to go through the detail page and click another time to download. We're just giving them a direct access to download. So we call that a quick download as well.
That's great. I know that is a feature that I would definitely appreciate. So for developers that have joined the Samsung Developer Program, how can members grow their user base and their revenue?
Sure. Our strategy is to empower our developer partners by enhancing our platform that supports them. So obviously there's many ways to grow their apps and their performance. There are many resources available for publishers on the Galaxy Store to support their success. And one thing that I'd like to highlight is these days, in particular, the app discovery is really diversifying. So customers are learning about their new apps, not anymore in their app store like we did 10 years ago. And they're actually learning from their friends and social media, many different channels. So the optimization of the contents inside our store is still being very important, but managing growth from multi-channel approach becomes even more important. Galaxy Store is having our batch feature, Galaxy Store batches, that drive customers from their multiple channel of discovery to Galaxy Store pages in a single click. And that improves a conversion by optimizing your discovery channel as well as all the listing information you're providing on our detail page. And we are going to provide more and more resources for you to optimize that listing information and grow the app developers' revenues. To help our developers succeed in their acquisition campaigns with the Galaxy Store or optimizing their customer journey from discovery to download, we are also working with the leading mobile measurement partners so that developers can measure their campaign performance end-to-end with the accurate data. And generally, what we would recommend as tactics for growth will be things like, generating more traffic and top of the funnel traffic. And from there, how to optimize their download conversion. And as you know, download is not the end. Most partners are frustrated. I get so many downloads. Why am I not growing from there? I think we also can help on our developers to manage their paid conversions and retention, because retention also is a key for your success and growth. And I would always advise people to lean into the customer lifetime value rather than focusing on the download number itself.
Can you tell me how developers can learn how to maximize their growth with the Galaxy Store?
Yeah, sure. So as I mentioned before, there's lots of tactics of growth available. So in terms of generating traffic, you can rely on UA campaigns. It can be digital campaigns. It can be social media campaigns. And we're going to be supportive on all your campaign executions. If you need specific resources to optimize your campaign, please reach out to our team. As well as, very importantly, users are browsing from their search engine. So obviously the search engine optimization techniques or search engine based advertising, all this traffic can also come into our store, and we can optimize that flow for your growth as well. In terms of download conversion, which is happening within our app, we are continuously improving our detail page optimization tools, as well as we would encourage our developers to manage their own reviews of their apps. So we are providing the way that the developers can prompt their reviews and allowing their users to write the positive reviews about their apps so that we can also optimize our conversion in that way. So that way we are continuously updating our product, and we believe it's important to provide our updated information on what developers can do with us. So we are planning to provide all this further information through blog posts, webinars, and educative resources in our developer portal as soon as our new features on our platform is available. So I would encourage all developers to visit our developer.samsung.com and stay tuned for more updates. And you can also sign up for a newsletter so that you can get latest information available from Galaxy.
Yeah, and the link to sign up for the newsletter is developer.samsung.com/newsletter. And I'll be sure to include all of these links that you've mentioned in the show notes. So, Hyunah, I absolutely appreciate you taking the time to join me on the podcast today. Love seeing how the Galaxy Store is evolving, and super excited with what's coming up in the near future. So thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, Tony, for inviting me to this podcast. It was a pleasure.
So, Charlotte, getting back to the awards for this year, I know that the pandemic obviously has affected everybody in many different ways. Can you tell us how it's actually impacting the award show for this year?
It has impacted many in-person events this year, as we know, including our Best of Galaxy Store Awards 2020 award ceremony, which is typically held at SDC, our developer conference. This year's Best of Galaxy Store Awards 2020 award ceremony will be held virtually and premiered on YouTube on December 9th, 2020 at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So stay tuned to the Best of Galaxy Store Awards page. If you're not a member of our Samsung Developer Program or Bixby Developers, now is a great time to register to get all the updates and features I just shared.
Excellent. So I know in the past, in order to attend the award show, you had to attend our conference, which meant you had to come out to the Bay Area here and admission into the conference. This year, though, is that going to be different?
The exciting thing for me is this year, for the first time, anyone can attend. And like you shared, the awards are typically held at our conference. And even then, sometimes sessions conflict with our award ceremony. But this year, anyone can attend. And so we're really looking forward to having a great crowd attend this year's awards.
Yeah, no, I am excited too as well. We talked about how the award show has been growing from originally it was just the 5 awards, and now we've expanded. We're up over 20 awards. Can you talk about some of the new categories for this year?
Yes, this year's awards will acknowledge over 20 winners in 5 categories. And the categories include Best App, Best Game, Best Theme, Best Watch, and we've added Bixby to this year's Best of Galaxy Store Awards. And we're really excited about that.
Yeah, earlier this year, I did a podcast interview with Roger Kibbe at Bixby and the Viv Lab team. So super excited that they're going to be joining us in awarding their developers.
Yeah, that is very exciting.
Talking about the winners, can you tell me how are winners selected?
Winners are selected by our Galaxy Store team, who do a yearly editorial review of all apps published to the Galaxy Store.
What would you say is the biggest challenge with the award selection?
I would say narrowing down the list of winners. The Galaxy Store offers expertly curated quality apps, which means we have a lot of great apps on the Galaxy Store.
Yeah, I know because I've been involved with the selection and awarding process, and it is a challenge because we've got a team that goes through all this and makes their nominations and their selection as to who they think should win. And sometimes, you know what, your favorite app may be different than my favorite app, so we get to battle it out to figure out who is the winner for that award.
Yes.
So what is it that the Samsung Developer Program team is doing to help promote the winners?
Winners are featured in Galaxy Store merchandising. For the award ceremony, we have a Best of Galaxy Store press release that Samsung does. 1 winner per category is chosen to be featured in that press release. However, winners can write a press release with a quote from Samsung as well. We do post-winner developer marketing, newsletters, blogs, and podcast interviews.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to next season in the podcast where I get a chance to interview some of these winners for the Best of Awards. That should be a lot of fun. Now that you and I and our team has been involved with the selection process for the awards, can you tell me what is your favorite award?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would say if I had to choose, I would say the collections, the theme collections and the watch collections, because it shows a body of amazing work, right? And so I think that if I had to choose, I would say that'd be my favorite. What about you?
My favorite, I think it's the fact that we do recognize those indie developers. So it's the small, new independent designer that's they've just put together this amazing app, and we're recognizing that. So you don't have to be this big brand. You don't have to have, a large collection. I love the fact that we are awarding those large collections because it's an amazing, opportunity for us to recognize when a designer has just got this amazing library of work. But I love the fact that we also recognize that individual one key design that just stands out. So, you can even be the little developer and we're still going to find you and recognize you for your great work. So what advice do you have for developers hoping to be considered for future awards?
The biggest advice I can share is marketing your work digitally, socially, as it drives awareness, it drives downloads, ratings, and reviews. And if you have not already done so, download the Galaxy Badge. It supports marketing your app, driving users to the Galaxy Store to download or purchase your app. So my biggest advice is if you have not posted it to your site, I encourage you to do it today.
Yeah, definitely. And the reason being is that we need you to show up on our radar. So if you put out a great app and it's not showing up in our analytics of, top selling apps or apps that are being downloaded, we're not going to find it. So it's a great way for us to find your app is when you're doing all of that marketing push behind it. Then once we see it, then we can dive into a little deeper and see if it's worthy of the award. But yeah, you definitely have to get traction on your app from a social standpoint. That's a huge way for us to discover your apps. So what's the best way for people to learn more about the Best of Galaxy Store Awards?
We have a Galaxy Store landing page on our Samsung Developer Program site, and there you'll find details about the program, updates on the Best of Galaxy Store Awards 2020, and highlights from past year's awards, including winner interviews.
Yeah, and as a reminder, that is developer.samsung.com, and from there you can navigate over to the Galaxy Store Awards page. All of the links that we were mentioning in the podcast will be included in the show notes, so you can check there. Can you tell me, are there any upcoming news that you can share that's related to the award show?
We have some upcoming blogs. We're going to take a look back at some of last year's winners, highlight some of their successes, and really begin promoting the Best of Galaxy Store Awards 2020 as we get near to the virtual awards ceremony, and we really can't wait.
Yeah, and one thing I'd like to share is that we are working on a trailer, a little teaser for the award show. The trailer will be released exactly 30 days before the award show. So on November 9th, we'll be releasing our little teaser trailer for the award show. So be sure to stay tuned for that. So Charlotte, thank you very much for joining me on the podcast today and sharing all of the information about the award show. Really appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thanks. It's great to be back again.
And just to sign off, this is our final episode of season 1 of the podcast. I hope you all have enjoyed not just this episode, but the prior 13 episodes that we did that make up season 1 of the POW podcast. We look forward to having you join us next year. We're going to start the new year off with season 2, and we are really excited with the shows that we're lining up. And you definitely will be hearing from some of the winners of our Best of Galaxy Store Awards for 2020. So thank you very much.
Looking to start creating for Samsung? Download the latest tools to code your next app. Or get software for designing apps without coding at all. Sell your apps to the world on the Samsung Galaxy Store. Check out developer.samsung.com today and start your journey with Samsung.
The PAL podcast is brought to you by the Samsung Developer Program and produced by Tony Moreland.